Well, since unboxing videos are such a craze on YouTube and social media, Pam and I are going to unbox our weed for you. Now, we did make an order to the Ontario Cannabis Store. We did this as an experiment to track the delivery process. So, Pam, how long did this take?
Well, we ordered it on the day that legalization happened. That was October 17th, and this arrived just yesterday. So almost 2 full weeks.
Almost 2 full weeks.
My husband answered the door, and you know that somebody is supposed to sign for it, somebody who's clearly over 19. Well, my husband obviously is.
Clearly over 25 even. Or, yeah, over 19, you're right. But he
did have to sign for it, though. So
he did
it all
sign
went
for it.
according to plan.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Go for it. Let's
it's
open
so
it.
Exciting. Now, one of the complaints we've been getting for customers is about excessive packaging.
Right.
And I kind of can't blame them. There's an awful lot of paper and cardboard for this little tiny thing. It's just 1 gram that we ordered, and it's
See if
actually
we can get it open.
not that easy, which I guess is a good
It's
thing.
supposed to be child resistant, but go for it. Let's see if Pam can do it. Give it a pull.
There's some trick
You gotta
to
squeeze.
this. You gotta squeeze?
Can I try?
You do it, Shauna.
I don't even know if I can.
But don't spill it.
No, there's another level.
I see. Okay, there you go.
And then you pull that off.
Pull that off.
So there you go. So just a little bit of weed in all of this packaging.
Very aromatic.
Well, right. So we did bring these concerns about the excessive packaging to a longtime Toronto environmentalist. Her name is Sheila White, and she actually brought my attention to the doob tube. So this is what the single pre-rolled joints come in, and her biggest concern is that these are going to be littered all over the street.
Packaging should be effective, it should be environmentally responsible, and as little of it as possible.
So you brought this from Calgary.
This is, yes.
Fresh off a plane from shopping at some of the pot stores in Calgary, cannabis advocate Jody Emery took me through some of her latest purchases.
So this is 5 pre-rolled joints.
That's a huge box.
It's a lot of packaging for it. So you've got these little boxes inside.
Since legalization a few years ago, Washington state is already sounding the environmental alarm bells over those plastic doob tubes and other pot packages that have been littering their streets and lakes. Sheila White, who has been on the reduce, reuse, recycle beat for many years here in Toronto, fears we could see similar results.
And then in the little boxes, every piece has to have labels and warnings. The law mandates it, which kind of is federal responsibility. And then you get one of these.
And you were saying even though a lot of these plastics are recyclable, at least here in Toronto, there is a push to cut down on plastic in general.
Yes, because 80% of the plastics we find in our ocean environments in Lake Ontario, which, as you know, it's just a big plastic soup in some of our lakes and waters, that 80% of that plastic is coming as land-based. So it's
people just
tossing
and
the
recycling.
Wind blowing and going down the sewers and into our waterways. So this is another one of my concerns. Is marijuana packaging going to end up starting to be littered in our landscape? Are those mylar doob tubes going to end up in our sewers and in our waterways?
So as an environmentalist, how would you like to see cannabis delivered to customers?
If they could do it in a baggie like the old days, why not? You just put that baggie in the blue bin and then put it in your own container. You can get a little tin. I think a lot of users have their own pet containers for their weed, and I don't see any reason for Health Canada to be providing all these extra containers.
Now, pot producers are under some very strict guidelines. For instance, the federal health warnings have to be on display. They also the packaging also has to be tamper-proof and child-resistant.